We've all been shocked by the images coming out of Britain this week. Streets ablaze and frenzied mobs cutting loose in an orgy of violence and looting. It's extraordinary to think it's the same country that just 4 months ago charmed the world with the royal wedding and is set to host next year's Olympics. Liam Bartlett is on the ground in England to make sense of the madness.
Michael, this is the City of London Magistrates Court. Local media assembled outside here waiting for the next suspected looter to emerge. This court usually sits 9 to 4, but it's been operating right around the clock, trying to cope with a number of arrests that have been made during the week's riot, currently numbering well over 1,000. Initially, these riots were thought to be the product of unemployed youth, but some of the people being processed in this court include a graphic designer, a dental assistant, forklift driver, a teaching aide, youth worker. Hardly disadvantaged, but as they're saying here, perhaps more the product of a sick society. It was extraordinary to watch the week unfold. This grand, civilised, respectable country, the Olympic city, convulsed by fires and riots. At one point, more fires were burning across England than at any time since the Blitz in World War II. A community convulsed by a new lawlessness, which seemed rooted in deep social decay, an underclass of people rising up in anger.
We're pissed off with the government. People's family get deported, innit, yeah? That's what I was saying, yeah? There's no jobs, there's nothing, yeah? There's nothing for the community.
How are you supposed to buy the food when you don't have work to buy food that is already available everywhere? We have the technology
I'm
and
sorry,
the resources.
listen, hold on. Nobody's robbing food shops. They're robbing gadget shops, clothes shops, and all the goods. It's got nothing to do with basic poverty. It's not basic poverty.
The ordinary citizens of England were left to wonder what had gone so terribly wrong in their once great country.
I think it's always something that was building up slowly for so many years, and this is the result. Because I don't think people would, just wake up and then all of a sudden everybody start looting and everything else.
They were getting really good goods. It was really easy to bully the whole community, the whole police force. It's just really easy to do it. And that's why it's happening.
Britain was completely unprepared for the sudden uprising. A police force outnumbered and outmanoeuvred. A Prime Minister struggling to explain it.
There are pockets of our society that are not just broken, but frankly sick. When we see children as young as 12 and 13 looting and laughing, when we see the disgusting sight of an injured young man with people pretending to help him while they are robbing him, it is clear there are things that are badly wrong in our society.
Poor get the poor, the rich get richer, innit? That's what Cameron said, innit? What did the Cameron say? The richer get richer, the poor get poor. If the Cameron want to do this thing, we'll do this thing, innit? Yeah? We want him out, man.
Hang on.
No one's happy with this people getting killed. Or that could be my mum, innit? It could be in that fire, innit?
Could be anybody.
It could be anybody. Anybody. No one's happy with that.
It was on this pavement in Tottenham that the London riots effectively began. This is where police stopped a taxi 9 days ago carrying local father of 4, Mark Duggan. Now, Duggan was wanted by a police task force investigating gun crime. The forensic truth of what happened next is still unclear, but within moments, Duggan had been shot dead. Those were the shots that were heard around the world. Just 2 days later, 120 of his friends and family took up to the local police station and protested, demanding justice. Within hours, 2 patrol cars had been set on fire, petrol bombs were thrown, and the fuse was well and truly lit for an explosion of anarchy.
What had begun as an anti-police demonstration spiralled out of control into a looting free-for-all. Four frenzied nights of destruction, attracting thousands of opportunistic thieves. But it soon became clear the riots were being coordinated. Warring criminal gangs had joined forces and were using social networking to stay ahead of the police.
There's no doubt that, certainly in my mind, that they were saying, we're going to cause trouble, meet me there.
Social networking analyst John Ackway was first to raise the alarm about how the rioters were communicating, using the BlackBerry network and its free texting service, BBM.
John, I've got a BlackBerry, you've got a BlackBerry. So even if I've got no credit on this, I can send you a message and 200 other people and say, look, turn up on that street corner in half an hour.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's the way it works. We can also send group messages, so I can send you a message and then you can forward that message on to a group of people. And that's what was taking place.
One message John intercepted said, link up at Enfield Station at 4 sharp, leaving your yards, your houses, and linking up with your niggers and F the feds, the police. Bring your bellies, your bags, trolleys, cars, van, hammers, the lot.
This is the suburb of Ealing, reasonably upmarket in English terms, fairly posh. Certainly not one of the places in London that you expect to find rioting. Up and down this high street, virtually every single shop here has been plundered, including, of all things, a baby shop. Have a look at this.
Liz Pilgrim's shop wasn't just looted, it was maliciously trashed.
How are you?
Yeah, okay,
You're in a bit of a state here, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a bit depressing, really.
At first, she was angry at the mob who did this, but she's since had a change of heart.
I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry that things have got that bad that they've had to do this. You know, and I think we as a town, as a nation, you know, I think we have to look at ourselves, because there's obviously a section of society which just needs help, and they need it badly.
But look around you here. I mean, who would want to cause just this sort of wanton destruction for the sake of it?
I know. I think, though, as a group, you keep saying about this mob feeling, that I think when things are happening and the adrenaline's pumping, and I guess you just lose all sense of right and wrong.
This area had cars burnt out.
In the wake of the destruction, civic leaders, like London's Mayor Boris Johnson, can offer victims like Liz solace, but few real answers.
The damage that you suffered, and I'm very, very sorry for your experience.
Isn't it? Sick.
It's been terrible.
Absolutely sick.
Apparently the judges are really getting in amongst these guys and giving them some very serious sentences. So I'm afraid, I think the law is going to take its course in a pretty tough way for a lot of these guys, and that is, it's the right thing.
More robust policing and tougher sentencing is an easy political answer for now. But it's hard to avoid the bigger social issues.
You've got money to send youth to prison, but you ain't got money to send youth to university. It's a joke. It's a joke. Why did the police protect Westfields and Ealing Broadway and left West Ealing? They did. I was outside. All right, let me say nothing.
When it comes to who's to blame, Mayor Johnson knows better than to point the finger. He just won't go there.
The looters and the rioters. Who are they, in your opinion?
You know, they're a wide body of people. I think they're predominantly young men.
They're not just the poor, though, are they?
As I say, there's a wide selection of individuals, but they are all going to be treated with impartial severity.
But some of the people coming through the magistrates' courts now, they've got varied backgrounds. They're not just the have-nots.
I think that it's disgraceful, whoever they are.
A lot of that disgraceful behaviour is thought to have originated in places like this, the estate housing that you won't see on London postcards. For all its splendour, this city is the most unequal in terms of income in all of Europe. The Olympic Games precinct is only 5 kilometres away. They're spending billions of dollars on that. but the people here believe there's nothing in it for them.
Lord Coe, you can't run a successful Olympic Games, no matter how good your preparation is in all other aspects, if you've got anarchy on the streets of the city that the Games are being held in.
Yes, we won't have anarchy on the city streets during the Games. We will have systems in place that will stop that.
The riots coincided with the 1 year to go celebrations. Bad timing for the man running the Games, Sebastian Coe.
With 1 year to go, actually, if you look at it in one way, what we witnessed over the last few nights was probably not a bad test event for us.
A good test run.
Well, you know, I've always made the point when I've been asked this question, what is it that keeps you awake at night? And I've always been very open about this. I've said nothing that I know about, because what we have within our control, I firmly believe, is under control. But I've always added the caveat to that. It's the stuff that comes at you out of left field that you don't see happening. And yes, the last few nights in London and throughout the UK have been that type of event.
How much damage has it done to London, the brand?
I think the proof of the pudding is going to be in the eating. The overwhelming facts are that London is a safe city and people do not need to be worried about coming here. The true spirit of London is in the shopkeepers who are opening their businesses again, is in the people, members of this community who are going out to spend money in those shops now as an act of support, who are helping to clear up the neighbourhoods and who are going to help rebuild it.
But the government knows this must not happen again. And to prevent it will take more than the British stiff upper lip. Curfews, water cannons, rubber bullets, all are under consideration, along with constraints on smartphones and social networking sites used to incite violence.
We are working with the police, the intelligence services and industry to look at whether it would be right to stop people communicating via these websites and services when we know they are plotting violence, disorder and criminality.
But out here on the streets, with the smell of smoke still lingering, Londoners of every colour and class are troubled. They sense something fundamental about their country has changed, and they fear it may be lost forever.
We don't share the same planet, we share the same place and the same city. And we can clearly see that there is a big difference between rich and poor. That difference is getting bigger. You know, there is bigger, all the big corporations, they are making shitloads of money, sorry about the language. And while poorer people are getting less education, they're getting less money, they're getting less work.
But surely the answer is not to go out and wreck the country.
No, but that's just a cry of the people to say, hey, this is wrong, we are not taking this anymore, we don't want to take this anymore.
Hello, I'm Dimity Clancey. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.